doing different Coen Brothers movies, but in The Simpsons.
I'm the
So funny.
So that's what you call me.
Oh, I think we might be live. I don't know.
I hope to God we're live.
Oh, we are. We've been for a while.
Incredible. Great. Good. Good
Wait.
and great.
We are unmuted, though.
Okay.
Are we?
Hi.
Hi.
Our show's happening. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Something else now.
Oh man, I think that maybe we're here now. Let's. I'll
It
wait
does
until we
seem.
get the
It does
final
seem
thumbs up.
that way. We're
I
getting
need confirmation.
some high homies in chat. So
Okay.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a
Oh
towel.
my gosh.
welcome
Great
back,
program.
everybody. This is episode 8 of Arc 4 of Better Than Heroes, and it is a very special episode because it's our very own Aaron Urist birthday.
Wow.
Happy birthday, you.
Thank
Whoop.
you.
Oh,
Did Jordan
Jordan
mute?
muted
What
himself.
happened?
Yeah, so that he wouldn't.
Song too.
Yeah, so that we wouldn't get copyright infringement. Yeah, I
That's
love it.
Yeah. So yeah, celebrate by slamming our new Scully emotes in chat for
Yeah.
Aaron. Just cats in chat for Aaron's birthday. So we're too bad we're gonna have like
It's what I
such a
would've
sad
wanted.
episode. Yeah, we don't have Pluma chats for you. There we go. Lots of cats coming in the chat for you.
Thanks, guys.
In case you were new to our stream, welcome. Hi, I'm Rachel Weeks. I play Klik, the level 10 Kreen fighter.
I'm Aaron Urist, and I play K.A.I. Hammerstein, the Artificer. And muted also in the stream, we have Jordan Dahl as the Moonboy, the level 10 Moonboy. And I will be playing the Moonboy tonight because Jordan will do all the facial expressions, but I will say all the words.
I can't wait for him to go into the hat and you just talk to yourself again for a while.
That'll be great.
Jordan, you're not in clean feed, in case that's helpful to you. I'm Harlan Kelly. I'm the dungeon master.
I don't
of this
have
game.
any audio. I don't know if you guys can
Yeah,
hear
we
me.
can hear you
Oh,
now.
now we can hear you.
Yeah. I'm the dungeon
you
master of this
can't
game.
hear
I'm the person who usually talks to themselves for a while. Here, so Rachel, you want to get us out of here while we see if we can fix some of this?
Oh, we've got some announcements to make. Tonight we're gonna play some 5e Spelljammer inspired Dungeons and Dragons. But first, our show is live, soundtracked by the wonderful Jason Wardell. It is directed by Case Drury of Tiger Moon Productions. And it is brought to you by our patrons and our subscribers. We are so grateful to all of our patrons and subscribers who literally make this show possible. The cat was licking my feet. That scared me so bad. Okay.
I have my headphones back now. Sorry.
There
Hi.
we go.
Hi, Jordan.
That's Jordan. He plays the Moonboy.
I'm the Moonboy. It said that the host hung up on me, so what did I do?
Get out of here.
What did I do?
It's fine.
Like I said, the patrons and subscribers make this show possible. They allow us to be here and pay Jason and pay Case and make this show awesome. Plus, they get access to super cool perks behind the scenes. Some of our patrons pay a little extra to get access to a super fun in-world D&D game that is going through some cool changes. Aaron Urist is going to be taking over some of the DMing for the repos and leads. That game.
Things are gonna be different. No more fun. No more fun D&D.
He's a real
No,
hard
no.
ass.
Only me have fun.
But they're moving from the previous world of Firma Regna to a whole new world that not even us, the crew, has been to.
A whole new world.
Yeah.
That's where you'll
Dazzling
be.
place.
Yeah. They take a spelljamming carpet. It's just a rug with a single chair on it.
To
Through the
Toronto.
That's nice.
So, if you can support the show in any way, please consider doing that. Join our Patreon, join the Repos and Leads game, have some fun with that game, and
Rachel, will you keep plugging stuff while I close a door that a dog opened, it'll take 10 seconds. Keep plugging.
Plugging.
I think if you got a dog that's
plugging.
opening doors, you got bigger problems.
I was gonna say plug the dog. I want to see the dog.
Yeah, plug the dog.
This is Better Than Heroes is brought to you as always by dogs doing their thing, sniffing butts, being friendly in the face of consistent adversity.
Yeah,
Dogs.
sponsored by dogs.
Keep
what was
chasing
it-
that squirrel.
What was the other thing that we did? Brand that we decided sponsored us? Was it Applebee's?
Oh, I can't remember. Oh,
Sorry.
Or that
Oh, yeah.
the
Dre
branded
Louis?
wine.
we claimed someone.
No, the
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, so you can support the show by becoming a subscriber or
Yeah.
by being a patron. If you have Amazon Prime, you can throw us a free sub. If you haven't done that
Yeah.
already, once a month you
Bezos
get a free
bucks.
sub from Amazon Prime. We appreciate that. We also have merch available on Teespring. So pick up some shirts and some stickers. That's a great way to support the show. If that is not possible right now, we completely understand. Just tell your friends about the show. If you like us and you're having a good time, share the good news. We're fun. And we appreciate every little thing you do to make this show possible, and for you coming back every week to see us play some guys in space. It is almost time to play some D&D, but first, it's time for last week's recap.
Previously on Better Than Heroes, in the Stella Luna's observatory, the crew was standing up to the rider with a Y, Windrider's recently manifested swashbuckling devil parasite. Though the fiendish foe invoked his dark and terrifying power of growing slightly larger, he underestimated K.A.I.'s ability to also grow slightly larger. This distracted the rider as Klik rapidly whipped the absolute dogshit out of him. Where his slightly large form had stood, there remained only his crystal eye, rooting his physical body to the world, which Flute then burned. The rider was defeated for now. Afterwards, the crew decided to rest before breaking into the Skull Goblin's palace the next day. Moonboy helped lag the goblin through a strange flower-induced hallucination. Klik trained feverishly in her training chamber, worrying about a potential fight against the mind flayers that held the palace and their paralyzing blasts. Flute pulled Moonboy away from trip babysitting and dropped a bombshell. He was leaving. Fearful after being foretold that he would betray his friends, he was sorry, but he was leaving the crew to find his own way for a while. And then he drew a teleportation circle, and he left. What? Flute left? But it's my birthday. Or is it? Find out right now on Better Than Heroes. It is. It is my birthday.
Cool.
Gaze into the butthole.
Are we
know
back?
your
I think we're back. We're
future.
Okay. So we find.
Oh God!
Wow.
Sniper shot.
Ah!
Just because you got a new emote doesn't
She's
mean you can get so
showing
fresh.
off
Yeah.
her
She's
emotes.
ready for the next emote. She's trying to generate that content. And that's what she uses that thing for, is generating
She's
content.
a content creator.
Folks, here
Only cats.
at Better Than Heroes, we help.
Okay, so we're not going to start this session with the full crew. We're going to start it with the scene of the Moonboy alone in the hallway of the Stella Luna, the new ship, kind of like in the area where the doors to all of your private cabins are. And there is, just you standing over this chalk-lined sigil on the ground. That's this big like circle and triangles cross section that Flute drew, and we left you just kind of in the zap of the moment that he left in. And I want to pick it up right back there. I want to pick it up in that scene of you alone in the hallway and what your next steps are.
Sure. I think the Moonboy is, he's crying. And through his tears, he kind of pulls out a little piece of paper and tries to draw as best he can the summoning circle that Flute went through.
Okay. Cool. Yeah,
So
let's have it.
as
I'd love to
to-
have you roll an Arcana check here as you are trying
Okay.
to transcribe the specific runes and sigils that.
And I think he kind of knows that, so he sort of takes a moment to compose himself, and he, come on, and he casts Enhance Ability, and you see briefly the image of a moon above his head, and this one has the silhouette of a crater that looks like a fox, you would say. And the fox's moon blesses him with advantage on intelligence checks. And he's going to try to do this thing.
I love that. Yeah, there's like this glow, this like silhouette of this like kind of just like moon like floating. It's not a physical manifestation of it, but it's just this like moonlight over it. And in the same way that you try and maybe guess talk about what clouds look like here. There's just this like rotating face of a fox that appears in this moonlight. As you just like scribble it down, there's a little bit of a moment of like a serial ethic connection here. As you you're not someone who's done teleportation magic before or anything, but there's something here that you just know that's kind of like from before. That you know that like you need these certain sigils in order to know where he went.
I rolled a 12 after several boons and blessings.
I think that's fine, and dice tell a story here. Like you can't like the specific sigils that are on the edge that are more of like the key code to exactly where you're going. Is the teleportation circle holds itself, but the specific runes seem to fade away, and you just like can't quite hold them in your head. And when you get them down, you're unsure if they're even the right ones or not. As when the coordinates fade away a bit.
And I think that he kind of, falls to frustration in this moment and kind of tears up the piece of paper that he was writing it down on and sort of kind of kicks at the chalk and messes it up and smudges it and maybe knocks over a nightstand and runs out scaring himself. I didn't want to come with you anyway.
And I definitely should know this, but I feel like Flute did that right before you all took the long rest. Am I remembering that correctly? And then we're gonna start in the morning here.
Yep.
So if K.A.I and Klik, you all want to kind of like do anything, because you all don't sleep. If you have anything you want to accomplish in the evening, Klik, I know you're kind of like training here and there, and but if not, we can kind of cut to the next day, the next morning.
Yeah. I don't sleep, but I still have to like be
Powered down.
chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guessed. I am. She takes a moment to try and just clear her mind and settle and do as much meditation as she can possibly do.
Yeah.
I think she's trying to be mentally tough in the next few days.
Yeah. Just kind of these like flashes of mind flayer in your mind and like being frozen in the battle that you were in before. Well, cool. There is a like this like soft, warm green glow that crests the morning here, as even though you all are still under, in the interior of this planet, in this planet that is like a root system that just like grows out and expands toward the edges of it. You are on the denser part that is more like an underground tight foliage, but the sunlight that hits still kind of illuminates even this deeper core. And so in the green light of morning, you all find Lag out on the deck of your ship, this skull goblin that is kind of been convinced to pilot you in the back door of the Skull Goblin King's palace, in hopes of getting to the floral made wall of doors. And he kind of like looks at you, anyone who comes out first, probably Klik, and he's like, well, is today the day that we are going to maybe all get our brains eaten?
I don't see any point in dallying. We're not gonna get any more ready to get in there.
Yeah.
And
It's just gonna...
maybe the king's still alive, and we can get there in time.
Yeah.
There's
The longer it
breakfast,
goes.
if anybody wants some.
Yeah. She definitely turns on her heel and heads towards breakfast.
Yeah.
It gets rolled out on a tray,
Oh, okay.
like a cart.
Well then, zoop!
Into the... I just sort of imagine us up in the observatory, because it was designed as sort of the hangout space.
As like a breakfast nook.
Yes.
Sure.
It has a dining area as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like glass ceilinged top of the back part of the ship, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah,
large, comfortable room with this huge glass dome.
Yeah. Lag just like jumps up on the table and is like makes himself comfortable and starts to eat biscuits and such. Hover crumpets.
Yeah, what's for breakfast?
Yeah, we've got our sort of standard of hover crumpets around, and there are eggs and cheese and various teas and coffees, but there's also like this sort of blini type deal with some smoked fish going on. It's just like a high class nosh of a breakfast.
Smoked fish. Clicks all up in that.
Sure. And I think Moonboy comes stumbling in, and he's not his normal jubilant self.
You look terrible. What happened? You and Lag get it more at get too high?
No, I slept great, he says.
Yeah,
And-
you got up on time.
Yeah.
Before we talk about that, I would just like to say that today, I don't know if everyone knows, but today is actually a special day.
I'll say it is, Kai.
Yes. Today,
I love this competing moment. Like, you both have news to get out, and you're like prepping for nice news. Okay, yeah.
today
Sorry, keep
is
going.
the anniversary of the completion of my first Archon cycle.
What does that mean?
Yes, it's a traditional arcane unit of time measurement, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Lag pipes up, and he's like, "Yeah, it's like because days happen different on different planets, so it makes sense. Trust me." And he's like,
Yes.
eating.
Exactly.
It's kind of
So-
like
It's the anniversary of your creation.
Sort of when I remember, and I don't know if it's the anniversary of my creation, but it's when I remember meeting Olophanticulus, and it was my first day at the workshop.
Well, happy special day, friend.
Thank you. That was, let's see, one cycle is 30 flatline rotations.
Lag starts talking about how years are different on different planets, but he's like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
eating
A flatline rotation is 1,000 days.
It's been 30,000 days? Jesus.
That's yes,
And it's your first birthday?
yes, that's right. I suppose.
tough-
I mean, it's
tough
not
break.
my birthday, but
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Yeah. Lag
Sounds like a
pipes up. He's
birthday
like,
to me.
yeah, it's like the day whenever a construct gets created by someone else. It's like they celebrate that day of it's like being born, right?
well, that helps give it some context. Not exactly a construct. Anyway, it's yes, you're right.
No, what do you mean? I make things. I want to know.
Nothing. You're absolutely right. It is just like that.
No, okay, so yeah, So you were
weird
like
thing is-
made and
When we were born, we weren't fully conscious, you know? Like when K.A.I was born, K.A.I came out a full brain.
Right, you just sort of booted up.
Yeah. Like,
I suppose so.
I don't remember anything from my first day, but
Guess
I don't remember anything for about the first 300 years.
yeah, when is your birthday, Moonboy?
I don't know. Maybe it's today as well, Kai. Give me your birthday.
I think we could share it.
Let me just try it on for a little while.
All right. It can be our birthday together.
And he kind of stands there for a minute, and he goes, "No, this isn't it.
All right. We'll find it.
This is your birthday.
Feels all weird and feels all weird
Right.
and tried on now.
It doesn't fit. It didn't fit right either. I'm sorry."
It's okay.
And I think in that moment, because it is Kai's birthday, I think the Moonboy decides not to tell them.
Tell us about Oliphanticulus, K.A.I, the first time you met him.
He introduced himself and didn't. I mean, now that I think back about it, there's so much that he did not tell me, but he told me his name and he told me what we would be doing, and he told me that he was excited for us to be able to work together. And
what were you originally made for? Lag asks with a hover crumpet. He's like a hover crumpet that's like trying to escape his mouth and fly away that he shoves back in.
Klik's like fighting him for it.
that's a good question. And I think that question is as difficult for me as it is for a lot of people.
He didn't tell you? I mean, you weren't like putting parts together. Like, why did he?
He wasn't my
would've, like-
creator exactly, but it was the first day that we met. At least I don't think he was.
No.
We talked about it a little, and he said no.
No.
But
I guess I always just assumed he was your creator.
I did
but-
as well for a long time, and I mean, we had never spoken about it. And I asked him, pretty much straight out where I had come from and how had he created me the way that we created so many things in that workshop.
Cool.
And he didn't give me a straight answer.
I guess it doesn't really
I wonder if
matter.
that's-
You created you.
That's right.
Maybe you're some kind of birthday machine.
What?
Telling
know,
people
this
their
is just-
birthdays who don't know.
This is
Yeah.
just a pretty
Aren't
good
we all?
party. And these crumpets are pretty good.
I think you were made to be a chef because this is
Yes.
delicious.
Yes, that's a good idea too. Some sort of chef, some sort of smorgasbord.
I'm sorry we have to
Very,
go
very good.
break into a nest of mind flayers on your birthday, K.A.I. That's a shame.
Yes.
As long as we're all together.
Yeah, we'll get through it together. We've done it before.
Yeah. Lag looks at you and is just like kind of like looking around and kind of this is the most animated you've seen him to. He's just like hyped as hell. Kind of like hearing the story. He's like, "Wow, isn't this crazy?" He's like, "Just a construct. It's a construct's birthday, and you maybe made yourself, and I'm eating your food, which wooed the kings." He says, "Anyway, I think today is a good day to die, so I'm down for it."
Speaking of, I am going to roll my dice. It is indeed a good day for someone.
He says, well, I can get us rolling here. What are you all gonna do with your ship while and we kind of covert in. Because the whole point here is that this ship can't approach the... I mean, I'm sure that it could, but it will definitely get noticed, where this thing can kind of like wind its way a bit better up to approach the Palace of the Skull Goblin King, and that'll get me close to the secret entrance. He kind of like winks at you a bunch, like stops and pauses and winks a bunch. And it's like secret entrance that'll get you straight into the heart, the throne room of the Palace of the Skull Goblin King.
I don't know. Is there some kind of cloaking system, Kai? Is there a way we can hide it at all?
I think we might be able to do something.
Full Spelljammer in a hallway and garden?
Given enough time, I might be able to conjure up a powerful illusion to make us look like something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Make it look like the big frogs we fought. Just like a sleeping frog.
This would be a really
those guys?
Extra big frog.
Yeah, it says those guys. Like it says, lag into the two like frog hemoth carcasses that are still laying on the ground.
Yeah. We could just like cover the ship in those, right?
Maybe if we can just make it look like a part of the wall or something, like an outcropping.
Let me see.
This ship has some abilities that the Dinger didn't have, but an extended cloaking, an indefinite one that's not in the cards. I don't have that power.
How long can your illusion last, Moonboy?
Well, I'm not much of an illusionist, but I can more or less, I can change environments to look like other environments. I don't know if I could do it on a ship. I suppose maybe there's a way, but it would take some doing.
Windrider's good at illusions. Flint can probably do that. Where is he?
Where is he? God, it's late even for him.
I don't know. I think he said he was going for cigarettes.
I'll go.
Cigarettes?
What? I'll go take a look.
He's gone!
Gone where? Certainly not for
I
cigarettes.
don't
Like, we
know.
know
I
that's
tried
not
to
it.
write down the sorcery direction. He shows you the thing that's all ripped up and crumpled. He's like, I tried to follow him, but he said he had to go to another place to find him on that hammer.
He left?
I think Kai has already sort of gone off downstairs to just look for Windrider.
Sure. Yeah. Which I love that leaves Klik with like lag or something like I'm gonna go and like walks away and it like leaves you with a crying Moonboy.
Klik does her sort of
Big
pat them
snot
on
bubble.
the shoulder, and it's like I don't understand. We're going into a big battle. We need him. How did he even get? He just teleported away and left his friends, his family?
He said we weren't safe. He said he had to go.
Weren't safe. I don't understand. How are we were already short-handed. I don't know how we're supposed to take on a whole nest of mind flayers with just the three of us. We don't have that kind of power. I don't have that kind of power.
I don't know. I tried to stop him, but he didn't. He just left.
After everything we've been together, he just abandoned us.
Well, he said he didn't want to expose us to the rider and his evil machinations anymore.
We're stronger together. We know that. We beat the rider last night.
We could capture
We could do
him.
it again.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. I said I have the magic to bind him, but he said, I don't know, he had to go. Something about work.
Humans are so fickle, so weak. Klik's so mad. I think she.
I think Moonboy's getting there too.
Yeah, it's.
I
Yeah,
love that. Like Klik is actually helping by turning your sadness into anger a little bit, like whipping up the like. Yeah, you're right. I said like that's so good.
I didn't.
I didn't want to ruin Kai's birthday breakfast, but I guess I didn't.
You didn't ruin anything. I can't believe he left without even saying goodbye. We could have talked about this. We could have helped. I don't know what to do. We can't. We don't have the dinger. We don't have our friends. We don't have Flute. We're in this new ship and we're expected to just go into a terrifying place to save a person that we don't know, to go ask questions to some little wizard that we don't understand, to save our friend. Like, how are we supposed to do this if we can't even keep our own friends together?
I don't know.
Klik will huck a chakcha at like a tree.
Sure, yeah. Roll an attack roll. There's a nice juicy vine just kind of like hanging down there that you absolutely can.
It's bad. It's a 10 with her modifier.
Oh, it goes so wide, like sticks into the far wall, and you just see it like skewer a crack that's over there on the edge, like rolling around, and it just kind of like it against the corner there. But you know that you're gonna have to like go and achieve that.
Yeah, it doesn't come back.
Yeah. And then so with that kind of like moment of like both of you just riling each other up and turning those tears into yells, Kai, what do you do kind of downstairs as you discover the remnants of Flute?
I go down there and I sort of knock on the door, holding a cup of whatever Flute drinks, warm milk.
Yeah. Amaretto sour, probably.
Breakfast?
Warm,
Maybe.
yeah.
It's coffee, but it's mostly cream.
Knock on the door and when there's no answer, we'll open the door and look inside to the empty room and walk in and set the coffee down and call out for Flute a couple of times. Flute? Windrider? Anyone? Then we'll go back up to the observatory. Flute's not in his room.
He
Told you
abandoned
he's-
us.
He's gone.
What?
He left last night.
He
just
fucked off
drew
in
a-
the night.
He just drew a portal and
He left?
left.
Moonboy's smoking a cigarette.
Lag's just hiding.
Yeah, I think with this kind of like if you explain it, you know, he kind of has like been munching on things in the corner a little bit, just eating as much of as Kai's food as he possibly can. And when he steps out and he's like, "Yeah, my friend left me once," and he kind of like knocks on his skull, kind of like referring to. You all talked to him about where Moonboy. You talked to him about where he got his skull from, and it was like talking about a friend that he inherited it from, and well, I mean, not inherited from that. It is the skull of a friend, and he's like, but what he told me when he left was that he left because he knew that I didn't need him anymore. That he trusted that he could leave. He could do what he needed to do because when he left, he didn't have to worry about whether or not I would be okay and be able to accomplish the things that I needed
I'm sorry.
to.
Could you wait
I'm sorry,
outside? Could you wait
yes.
outside?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I didn't mean to overstep. I was just trying to help out.
I
here.
understand.
Yeah, no. Okay, I apologize. I overstepped. And he's like, well, anyway. He just like takes a plate and pulls all the snacks on the table onto it. And just kind of like, many apologies. And he's like eating and stepping out.
What do we do without him? After we lost the Wind Rider, the Wind Rider. After we lost the Dinger, I knew we'd find it again. I knew the four of us would go get them, and we would be a family again. But now I don't know how. Maybe that's not going to happen.
Or maybe we change course. Maybe we just go find the Dinger.
We can't. We need Florial to even get there.
Maybe we go into the hat.
We don't know where the hat goes.
I had one way to find out.
And then we're just running. Then we're not helping anybody. We're not doing anything. But everyone on the Dinger could already be dead. They could be gone. And we're not going to be able to save them. We don't know how to find them. Maybe we're just not a good crew. Maybe I just go home.
Cut to 6 months later. Klik working a frozen yogurt shop.
Yeah.
Assistant manager.
Klik's queen of Jadorian. Thriving.
I don't know.
I mean, I said before, I'll say it again. You all can do anything you want with this
No.
game.
No, Do we need him? Or are we just better off without him?
I don't know. K.A.I, you're the birthday boy. What do you think?
Yeah, Kai's sort of looking out the dome of the observatory, almost like he's not.
Like it's not even his birthday.
Almost like it's not even his birthday.
K.A.I. K.A.I,
What? What?
what are you thinking?
Why would he leave? I don't.
Well, it doesn't
Why-
matter why he would leave. He's gone. And maybe he'll come back, but maybe Klik's right. Maybe we're better off without him. That being mixed up in all of this nonsense. He was getting way too evil, and I told him. I miss him.
Yeah.
I think that whether or not he's gone, that doesn't mean that it's not our duty to find the captain. He found me when I was floating out there in wild space, and if you want to go back and be queen of a froyo stand or whatever, you can, but I'm finding the captain. And I'm going to, if he's dead, I'll bring him back to life. I've got the magic to do it.
We've done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
What else is there?
That's the spirit.
If Flute's too much of a coward to face this city of mind flayers, then
Yeah.
maybe he was a liability.
Yeah, but he's not teasing Whims, probably. His last name was Whim Teaser. Does anybody remember that? Okay.
I do.
I thought it was Wind Rider.
No, who knows? Who knows? He's a charlatan.
Teaser. It's a
There's
name
like
that
7 different people. I saw inside his wallet one time. There's like 15 different social security numbers in there.
It is a flute. It is his real name. It's a throwaway name that I pitched Andrew in a list of wild names that he went with.
Flute wind teaser indeed.
Trying to think of the most ridiculous bard name possible.
Well, if he's,
What?
gonna flit away to another dimension, then I guess we'll do what needs to be done. What is he gonna do, Play a song for the Mind Flayers?
Yeah, a cool one, probably.
I don't know why he left, but I don't know.
I mean,
I came to that workshop 30,000 days ago. And I spent 10 years with Oliphanticulus working before he left. And we've been together for almost a year, and I spent the rest of that time alone. I don't know why he left, and I don't know where he went, but we just have to keep moving forward.
yeah.
And if we ever see each other again, we'll see.
We'll give him a big hug. I mean, no, probably something will hate him.
Just this whole
All right.
time, I've told myself that everything we've been through, everything we've done, all of the war and all of the killing and death was worth it because we were together.
Well, if he doesn't want to be together, then he's not worth keeping around. If he doesn't want to be here, then, I gave up everything to be here. I just left my whole family. My home. And, if he's gonna run away on some selfish mission or, to get a new wig or something, I don't know. Guess that's more important. Klik will angrily stomp over to where she threw her cha and pull it out of a dead krat on the ground and leave. She's gonna go start getting stuff together to go to the Goblin King.
Cool. I love this. You kind of just off the side of the ship and grab the tchotchke and back on with your incredible
Harlan,
ability to jump. Yep.
We've never talked about this, but it's in the plans for the ship that I still haven't sent you all of.
Sure.
No, we'll talk about this off stream. Never mind. No, it's good. It's cool. It's fine.
Are you trying to camouflage the ship, Aaron? You can tell me if you are.
I'm not trying to camouflage the ship. I'm trying to do
Okay.
something else.
Okay, let's talk about that later.
Birthday
So-
related.
I don't want to ask you for a thing that you might not want to give me on my birthday.
Yeah, because I might.
and make you feel like you have to give me the thing because it's my birthday.
It's my
Okay.
birthday.
That's
So
honestly kind of you because you know me well enough to be like, I'll be like,
Yeah.
no. And then the chat will be like, it's Harlan, it's Aaron and Kai's
No,
birthday.
I don't. I'm
Mechanics-wise,
not going to do that to you.
it does not sound like I can. So the only really big illusion spell that I have is hallucinatory terrain, which says you make natural terrain in a 150-foot cube. In range, look, sound, and smell like some other sort of natural terrain. So it doesn't say I can't disguise any
100-foot
equipment or
cube, yeah.
anything.
I would let you do that, except it only lasts. Well, it lasts 24 hours. So
Yeah.
I think, in my mind, I think that you could do a terrain, especially because of like a lot of the surroundings. There's these like cutouts of like, this is a lot of like earth that has like ground or that has like roots pulling through it. Basically, a lot of like growth that is pushing the earth in and around that is held together. Some like waterways, like pools of stagnant water. So in my mind, you probably could find a spot to kind of like put a trash can lid of hallucinatory terrain over the ship.
Okay, interesting.
But it would have that timer of 24
Time limit
hours
on
for
it.
sure. Yeah.
Now, another thing that I could potentially do, I have a spell called Plant Growth. I could, if we were to land in a patch of plants, I could potentially grow them all over the ship.
Or like around the ship.
Yeah, like a bike lock.
Yeah. Yeah. The spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area. 2 possible uses. If you cast this using 1 action, blah, blah, blah. If you cast the spell over 8 hours, you enrich the land. All plants in a half-mile radius centered on a point within range become enriched for 1 year.
Nice.
I think that's, if you all want to spend 8 hours here, I'm happy to put like a wall of ivy over the ship. I'm definitely down with that.
Okay. With plant
think it's
growth, we'll go...
Probably worth it. 8 hours is a long time, but
You all talk about it. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
For some form of camo, maybe?
yeah, I think
Would probably
leaving it unprotected is a bad idea.
Yeah, it'd probably be effective.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I have nothing to help with that.
We'll go with that. What other kinds of spells are we going to want to bring in?
I have pointy disc and pointy stick. Those are my 2
Right.
I'd plan.
Yeah, I have punchy punch.
Should I bring...
Thunder defense, and I have
Should
a
I-
blasty blast offense. Make them dead.
Should I bring locate creature?
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Locate creature would be great. Also, any
We
kind of
are
defensive
trying
spells to
to
get
locate a creature.
specifically.
I like your thinking.
I'm gonna
What's the
bring...
verdict? What's the move?
I'm gonna bring Charm
We are
Monster
gonna-
as
we are
well.
gonna
So
Chill.
If-
so you
if-
can get past that gross thing that we found out about. What's
if
it
we
called?
see, yeah, there is that thing.
That.
Boy, that is but is that a monster or is it gonna be some kind of planar whatever? I guess we'll find out. So if we see something that seems like it might be able to be charmed by Charm Monster, and we can get the drop on it, let's not attack. I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay.
We see an
I think we want to
opportunity.
do as little attacking as possible. I think we
Yes.
want to be
Yeah, if we can do a
as
stealthy.
stealthy as we can do.
Okay, I have Pass Without Trace then.
That's
That sounds
Yes.
like a good one.
So let's do that.
Damn,
I also
we're
have
at past, we're at
I have
past without trace
invisibility.
points in the campaign. Let's fucking go. The world gets different.
Nah.
You
Shit.
get a +10 to stealth.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I also
Um,
have invisibility for up to an hour. That helps.
Okay.
I only get
do I.
one, but nice. See?
just real quick,
Yeah.
do we know what we want to do? What you all want to do with Stella Luna?
we're gonna spend some time growing some plants.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna
so
do
yeah,
exactly that.
I think that you all can definitely. You all don't quite know what's up ahead of you, but you know at least that if you feel good about leaving the ship here, Aaron, if you have anything that's built in there that you kind of want to set, we can either talk about that off stream or just establish.
Can
what
we say
abilities
that
they
I
have,
will
but-
use the sort of the tentacle appendages to help us sort of kind of burrow ourselves out a good spot that can then be covered up?
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Plants.
You see it kind of like the ship as Moonboy is. And Jordan, I'd love to get a little bit of this from you and a little bit of this from Aaron and then Rachel, however you think Klik is helping here too, because I just imagine the ship is kind of like settling itself down in a small trickly waterway that has carved out enough of a path and a pool that it like has a down dip there, and then Moonboy's floating around, kind of like helping these plants grow. They come around it, and the tentacles are just like fussing with it, right? That's what I see. It's like kind of like making sure it gets like nice and cozy and nest buildy in there. So
it's doing that thing where cats put their paws under their foot, and they do a little.
Yeah. And I think he's kind
finds
of
a stick. And like,
I think he's kind of. Are we going to be able to take a long rest after this, or do I need to put plant growth in my?
No.
I mean,
I don't think so.
You can, but you have to spend a whole nother day here. And I will say,
okay. I'm just gonna use that slot for plant growth. Okay, so that is cast. And I guess they're a little different, but he's able to find, because when Moonboy, I think, forces plants to grow, or not forces, coaxes them, they're just like, I think they are, Lunasteran vegetation, and they start to look kind of blue and glowy, but I think he's found something that is close enough to overall ivy.
Yeah, like something that would fit in unless you were really looking for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's like, it's like a different strand of ivy, but it's like,
totally.
And you're just like floating. I just imagine you like floating around with your glowing boots, just like almost like conducting these plants up.
Truly.
You're just
for some
like
reason,
shining your moonlight.
Yeah, for some reason in my mind he's got like little headphones on, like Walkman style. Like it's the start of a.
Oh man, can I
Wes Anderson movie?
Can I interject?
Please.
Yeah.
So while you're doing this, the Stella Luna is sort of like it's hovering in the air, and the tentacles are sort of helping to burrow at space as you cast this plant growth spell. And the moonlight from your spell casting illuminates up through the crystal underdome of the greenhouse and fills that greenhouse with moonlight as all of those little moon saplings begin to grow and accelerate.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It kind of like maybe like a couple of like windows bust, but in a way where like the unseen servants are immediately sweeping it up, and it kind of like sprouts from there as these like growth comes out and around the ship as well.
Totally.
Real.
Cool, and you all kind of like step back from it, and you can see this wall just grow itself over the ship, and it's touched down inside of here.
I'm going to spend this time with Lag, just talking about where we're going to come in and trying to figure out any kind of plan, just like a strategic route. We don't have to do specifics, but that's what I'd like to try to think about.
Sure. Yeah. As this Fantasia meets Troll in the Park. What's that movie?
A Troll in Central Park.
Central Park.
I love a movie. Yeah.
Wow.
Throwback.
Hello,
Also,
I'm King Lort.
As this like that scene is happening over there, you Klik and Lag, the Skull Goblin, are kind of like over leaning on this like broken, stitched together small mechanical ship that is the Goblin Crawler. And if you're shooting a shit with him, he's like, oh yeah. I mean, I got this tunnel because I helped maintain it. I helped build it. No, I wouldn't say I was the one. I wouldn't say I was the one who built it, because obviously there's some things that have been there for a very long time, but I was definitely the one who connected it to the palace of the Skull Goblin King. So you should be able to just boop, boop, boop in there, and then you all can do whatever you want. Once you get inside there, I don't know what the hell you all are going to do, but
yeah,
you at least have that.
We're going to try and find the Skull Goblin King. We also need access to the portals. You think that this is, like, what's the direct route? What should we be worried about?
I mean, the port, like, you mean the doors? The stuff just comes out of those doors. You probably just die if you go into them.
Well, you said you saw that one guy go in, right?
Yeah, he never came out. He probably died.
Well,
don't talk to me. You're over there, he says.
Oh, sorry.
Don't yell. I can't hear you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. What? It's yeah. We're just mostly curious about the doors.
Yeah. Do you think that rescuing the king is? I mean, once you rescue the king, you're still in the middle of the. Are you just trying to snag him and get out? No, you guys want to go through the doors. That's right. Never mind. You already said that. He says, kind of like shaking his head and thinking about it. What if I get the king? What if the plan is I get the king and I leave with the king and we get us to safety and then you guys can go do whatever the hell you want with the doors?
Yeah, we're gonna try and help as
feels like an alternate plan.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure we get you to safety and as many goblins as we can, of course.
Sure.
Maybe you can spell jam one of those mind flayer ships away. We've done that.
Damn, that sounds crazy. I mean, I just want to live to eat the ice cream. That's my big thing. I think especially if I'm involved with saving the king, that I'll probably, even if I don't get to eat the ice cream in the moment, I'll get to eat the ice cream later. So that's where I'm at with this.
It's ice cream worth dying for. I'll tell you that.
I'm ready. I know. There's nothing I care about more than experience of my taste buds. I can tell you that.
Have you ever tried elf flesh? It's
no.
Man.
I've never been able to kill an elf. I've never thought about it really, but it's good.
Yeah, if you can find it. I mean, don't ask them where it came from. But
I'm gonna seek that out. I'm gonna find an elf. And I'm gonna get that meat from this.
This feels like you're giving birth to a serial killer.
Nah, you won't be able to kill an elf. It'll be fine.
He looks.
What are you worried about?
Yeah. Plus, the tunnel will be fine as long as you guys don't touch anything as we go through, and it'll be fine. That's when I was doing construction on it. I was kind of like establishing it. I just didn't touch anything, and it was fine.
What happens if you touch it?
I don't know. I didn't do it.
All right. Well, we won't touch it then.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of powerful spirits still hanging around because it's you had to cut through the catacombs to make sure that the king could have his exit. I built that hatch there to be able to connect the pathways in case there was any sort of situation similar. Living close to a green dragon will, after all these years, kind of builds the paranoia, and so I built it for the hatch for the king out and through the catacombs. So
catacombs
don't touch
as in like your catacombs? Or what kind of catacombs are we talking about?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the hall of all of the Skull Goblin Kings. That's what I'm not. I was only allowed in there because I was helping the king build a hatch. You can't go in unless you're one of the anointed. So.
Oh, I promise we'll respect your dynasty of kings. I have no wish to disturb the dead.
Yeah, but I'm kind of whatever about it. I've never been a king, and so I got no stake in who's the king and for what reason and what the kings think. But I'll just, at least the thing that helped me kind of like go through there, I'll tell you it's spooky. The thing that helped me make it through is just I didn't touch anything. So.
You don't respect your king? Why is he king?
I do. I just, in this situation where I need to live here and I need to get what I want, which is to taste the ice cream, I'm kind of willing to bend a couple of royalty regulations. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but if your king is the greatest among you, it's surely you prioritize his safety.
Yeah, but desperate times call for desperate measurements. You know what I'm saying?
It's not actually that. You should never measure desperately.
Yeah,
you should measure twice.
You'll get the wrong measurements.
Cut desperately.
Right, but sometimes when you're in desperate times, you shouldn't measure twice. You should just measure once, and then whatever answer you get is the answer you roll with right now. Stop yelling across the field. It's like I have to explain myself. My voice is getting a little
I'm talking
hoarse.
over the ship's loudspeaker while I'm jacked into the helm.
No, he's like, desperate times call for desperate measurements, which means sometimes you should not, it doesn't matter, don't get your ruler out, you just guess how long that cylinder is, and you just make a call, because you gotta get out of there before you drown.
Shouldn't you be eating something?
What?
I mean, he's like, well, what do you got to offer me? He's kind of like, a little, he like pulls out a handkerchief that only has crumbs in it, and he's like, I can eat something.
Leads him away.
Oh, no. He just like eats and stops talking, yeah. Cool. I think with the, unless you have any other specific questions for him, Klik.
No, I was just.
pressing for deets. No touching. Got it.
Yeah.
No
All right.
touching.
Then we are right around the hour mark, so we can take a quick break here where we drink, pee, and we will see you in 5 minutes here, right on the other side of this, with another hour of Space D&D for you. So see you in just a
Better
second.
than.
Abandonment issues.
Okay, here we go. So yeah, I think that we're gonna meet the crew here with this ship fully just like grown and covered over, and the plant pieces have settled themselves. And it's kind of like one of those things like puzzles that you have to stare at for a little while, and then you see it again. You see this kind of like shimmer of blue amongst the leaves of the vines that grew over it that are hiding the ship. And if you like unfocus your eyes, you can see it, but if you don't, you can't quite see it. And you step upon this broken, very mechanical, rubber band and bubblegum held together ship. This like a very small cockpit. You're used to your ship that has like all of these different rooms inside of it, everything. And this is just a pod with all of these levers and levers and buttons and batons all over the walls and console of the ship that you cram yourselves into. It's clearly made for 4 goblins, and so fitting all 4 of you in there is a bit of a smush, but you can. And Lag is nestled himself up to the front with the driver's seat pushed all the way forward situation up the front of the ship, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to take this through the roughage, and then we're just going to kind of climb a wall along the plains here and see if we can scoot our boots around the edge of the palace walls and get up to the drainage pipe. So, does that feel good? He says, kind of like hyped up. He's like, good.
Move quietly as this thing can go.
Can we like see out of this thing, or are we just like in the back of a van?
You can. It just has one long like visor window up front. Kind of like being in the back of a van. But
you can see out of the windshield.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
he looks at you. He's like, "Hey, if I die, tell everyone it was in a cool way, please."
Do you
go.
do you have
Alright.
do you have like any idea of have you thought about how you want it to happen?
No, I try to avoid those thoughts at
No, I
all
just
possible.
mean, when we have to tell a story later on, like something with a harpoon or like.
I know you all well enough to know that you should change the story depending on the audience. I think that you can pull that off. So,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to, before we go, I'm going to hand Lag a small metal cylinder that's slightly cold to the touch. Be like, be careful with this. Don't open it unless something happens to us. We all get separated. Or if the end is about to happen. Just keep this close to yourself and don't open it unless something happens, and when you open it, you'll know what to do.
Aaron, so I don't know what this is. So can we switch chairs for a second? Can you set a DC and can Lag roll to try and just get a read on what this is? He has a +0 to Arcana.
All right, cool. What? Oh, he's making an Arcana check to try to figure out what this is?
I will say, me to me, the thing I usually say is I have 2 different checks, and depending on which one I pick, I will get different sets of information.
What is he trying to analyze? And I'll help you out.
Well, I think if this is maybe something he would recognize if it's like a scroll.
Is he trying to read me? Is he trying to read like what is this item?
No, I think he's specifically trying to see if he would recognize what this is. You know, like if it's something that is like a spell scroll or something like that. I think he's very much like he's pretty knowledgeable in the world of like tools and things like that. So if it's just like a tube that has like a lid that there's a message inside or whatever, that's fine. But if this is a magical object, he wants to kind of like suss that out too, and that's why he would make an Arcana check, because he knows that you are kind of this magical being, and so he's like looking for like, will this teleport me or whatever. So if it's just straight up not magical, that's fine. But he's just, I don't know.
No, it is a little bit magical.
Okay, I got a 18 on my Arcana check.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's magical, and it's specifically like it has like it's like evocation magic, like cold magic.
Okay. He nods, and I will say, with this being high enough, can he know the level of danger?
Yeah, he can know that it's no danger to himself.
Okay, cool. That's what I think. That's like, yeah. So he's like, okay.
The toy.
He knows it's important.
He trusts you all at this point, so he's
all right. Yeah, we can. It's up to you if you want me to tell you what it is or not.
No, don't. I think that's what I wanted out of this, is that Lag is just like, he thinks this is cooler, and he trusts you more because you're giving him a magical object, and he's like,
just to clarify, if we get separated, if something happens to me,
got it.
Open.
Something happens to Kai,
or if something happens to us.
Sure.
Or if the mission goes awry and we don't get to see each other.
Okay. I was just thinking we'd jump in Moonboy's hat, so glad you have a plan.
Well, no. I mean, don't use it to try to save yourself. Can
your hat get us out of there? Should I jump in your hat too? He says as he's like lifting up the ship, and it's starting to just like bring the pincers up here, and it like seems to be floating off of the ground, but is still pulling itself along, kind of like trimming pieces as it goes. It seems like the navigation parts of the ship are tied into this like pruning ability that the ship has as it moves along. He's like, "What do you mean I'm not invited?" Like he's like, "Come on, I'm like part of the team now."
Yeah, I'm like want to come, but like his hat's full of terrifying monsters and like the giant lizards and stuff. There's always something weird for coming out of there.
I've seen stuff come out of it. That's true.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's better than Mind Flayers.
It's true. Better than Mind Flayers. Yeah.
I can feel something in there right now.
What? He won't fit in here. Don't let him out.
No. I think it's gone.
It's like you see. He says as he says it, you see like
Small
just
fart.
a glowing worm is just like creeping down his head, and it's just like, yeah.
Moonboy, you got something?
Got a little.
Yeah, little.
Yeah.
No.
Squiggly.
Huh?
No, other side.
Yeah.
Huh?
Lower.
Huh?
No, the side of your
other
face
side,
where we are touching.
Yeah. Do you see?
Yeah, now you're voguing.
No.
No, it's good. Ignore it. Ignore us. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Good. Music? Do we have music?
There, I found it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's music.
And he shoves it back in his hat. There we go.
After he shoves it back in the hat, you just see it kind of like float out the back, and it's like a worm. It's like a worm with a tail that moves like a helicopter, and it's just like floating itself to the ground.
A friend for
That's kind of
Bessner.
awesome.
And
Bessner eats it.
Jason.
Nice. Thank you for the moon worm helicopter noises, Jason.
Yeah.
Live soundtrack.
Do the moon worm.
Everybody doing the moonworm.
So,
It's the moonwalk
as the ship
and
is
the
kind of
worm.
like crawling along here, you all can give me one skill check that you do as this ship crawls along, and he's kind of like, here we go, as you see the claws like pull itself up and out, and you see these what's now shifted from this very earthen bog-like greenery of the very tail edges of the Slow Death's terrain, and now you have fully pulled yourself out into this more like rocky, sandy, like dry brown root area that is the Palace of the Skull Goblin King's territory, which you would recognize. And after worming your way through these tunnels for a few hours, you've like pulled yourself out here. And if you want to give me a skill check, you absolutely can, as the ship very much so, Lag would be like, all right, here's the sprint of it. Like, this is the part where he's taking the long route around to get himself to the entry point where he can like push himself along a little more incognito. And if you all want to gain any information or do anything to help your ship in this moment as it's going from point A to point B, you can.
I got one. I will look out at the path ahead of us, and if I can, I would like to do an investigation check to sort of analyze the best route that we can, sneak from corner to corner.
Yeah, truly. As your Terminator glasses go on, and you do the Predator heat-seeking path.
Oh wow,
here.
That's even cooler. I was just going to look. I like that way better.
But no, yours.
My heads up. My heads
it's your
up.
Birthday. It's your birthday.
Thank you. My heads up display comes on. It's like
You
hiding
get like
place.
the Star Wars one that comes
Sneak
out.
to here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Or the Spy Kids one that goes.
There you go.
There you go.
See.
There you go. All right. Investigation.
No, we are a Shark Boy and Lava Girl family.
That's a 27.
Oh boy. Okay. I would say with this check, you are fully like Chewbacca to Han Solo, like in the cockpit now with Lag, and you can see that there is a pretty streamlined pattern of large rocks for you to just move inside of, and you can almost see the like when deer walk through the woods, there's like a pretty consistent path. It's almost like a sneaky path or like a smuggler's path here that is the vision is pretty obscured by the rocks as you all move through, and just the only challenge here is kind of getting from rock to rock as the this crawler here is finding bushes and brambles and rocks to latch onto and trim and clip as it's moving through this space. And you can see less than a mile off, just like these very large walls of the Palace of the Skull Goblin King that you recognize. And so when you all are kind of just like in your own language all of a sudden, that in the same way that you are able to, if you talk to someone for a while, like learn their language, you're just in it with Lag, just kind of like calling out like that, and then we go there, and then we go there. And so you guys can feel the power of this crawler too. It's like you're not moving through hyperspace, but it is just like swinging through the jungle a little bit of like Tarzan style. Like there is this rock that needs trimming, there is this branch that needs trimming, as it's just like pulling you through along this terrain.
Nice.
We're
in sync.
Moonboy is going to, somewhere deep within him, he does not necessarily need to remember this, but the moon folk, the moon gnomes, are by their nature a small and secretive people, and I think he is looking for danger from the nature, from the wilderness. He's looking for predators, he's looking for poisonous plants. I did a nature roll, I got 24.
Love it. I love it. With this nature
for predators.
check, yeah, I will say I love that, because even as you are kind of like sitting like leaning over the shoulder of all these folks, you're looking for the biggest threat, in the same way that like a mouse moving through a field might, it's just like looking for anything, looking for the snakes, looking for the hawks, and you realize quickly that your only threat here, it's eerily quiet. You don't pick up on any trails, you don't pick up on any small mice or anything like moving out of the way. No crats here.
That's bad.
As you move through, and I think that what this gives you too is that there is just this dark purple ripple that seems to be in the same way that if once the rabbit knows the hawk is there, the rabbit has an advantage because he knows the hawk is sitting in the tree and is like not gonna not move and not just like move about willy-nilly. And you can see hanging over the edge of the walls of the Skull Goblin King because you're not distracted because there's nothing here and you're just like on there are just these like tentacles of maybe 10 illithid ships.
No!
You can see they're like the curls of
That's no
the ships
octopus.
like landed along in this like landed along like these turrets and these protection labels. So just like all along the banisters of this are just tentacles hanging over. And it's like guards. These ships are just parked on the edges of the walls, just like totally hurting the walls, like poof down there. And they're just like hanging over. Yeah.
They're empty as far as we can tell. Yes.
Yeah, you don't see any mind flayers from here. You just see the ships, just like
maybe
like,
that's
with the
Klik's
rippling over
role.
the edge.
Yeah, I was gonna do a perception check here.
Hell yeah.
And I rolled very well, so I've got a perception check with a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
I got dirty
Okay, so
22.
is it true that all three of you got 20 or up? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, okay.
We are tuned. We are mad at our friend. We are ready to do this.
We are ready for an improv show.
We are rebounding. We are. Get out there.
Zip, zap, zopped.
Just get out. Just get our minds flayed. Just for one night.
We
It's
are.
not going to mean anything, and we're not going to care.
Yes, and it's your fault. Are you looking for anything particular? Or are you just surveying?
I think if Moonboy points out a number of Mind Flayer ships, she will pay special attention to the Mind Flayer ships. But yeah, she's looking for anything that's going to get in their way before they get into cover. She's like in a full hunter be hunted mode.
Sure. Yeah, I think with the hunter be hunted description, you know again, just I love this field mouse kind of like moving through the field thing. Like there's no sharp turn of the head as you all move through. I think that is notable and noticeable. But the thing you do notice with the 20 is that each of those ships seems to be manned by mind flayers. You notice they're floating purple-headed
Not fish
form.
people.
Not fish people. These seem to be like even at like you know where to look for the gunners like before you know where it was, and it seems to be you can't clock a form that's not a mind flayer.
Good God.
This place is crawling with flayers.
But I will say, it seems like Lag gets the job done here as you all move over and through. And you
Attaboy, Lag.
You kind of like you're again like you're maybe like a quarter mile from the wall at this point as you're still like on this edge here, and you move over and again you're closer inside of the planet. Like everything is domed, there's no sky, so he's just like moved you over to an edge behind a large rock that seems to cut away and have a drop off, and there's like a small trickle of water, and in and around like almost in a cave form, but it doesn't go down here, but it is like a rock jut out. He's able to crawl the ship over, drop it here, and you can see this small cutout that if you weren't looking for it would just seem like an empty cavern, but when you step over and out and you kind of clown car out of the ship, you walk over to it and you can see it drops down more and more, and there is this like I think that I'm going to give this straight to you because you know what you're looking for. Lag will point it out, and K.A.I is K.A.I. And so you can just see this illusion that is over a spot here where it's like very much, you know, like a 20 by 20. This is where rock goes.
It's
Yeah.
painted
spot.
rock on a painted street on a Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, it's a real hide a key situation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The
It's like
totally real rock my key is in.
yeah. Like in
Plastic.
Zelda or something
Yeah.
where you can clearly chop through this fake wall.
Yeah, it has a
Yes,
sticker on
exactly.
it from Costco, you know?
And Lag will kind of like take some dust from the ground and throw it at the and you just see it like pass through. And he's like, "Yep." He's like, "This is the door. This is the back door." He's like, "I put it here." He's like, it's like pretty good, right? I mean, not my best work, but it got the job done at the time.
Pretty
As
good.
long as the flayers don't know about it, then.
Just a brief moment of mistrust where I wonder if this guy might be some kind of mind flayer.
Oh. Didn't we check him? Didn't we, like...
No, we
I
should
don't
him.
Kind of...
Can I make a whatever roll?
You can make
Insight,
an
I
insight.
guess.
Absolutely.
Insight check is exactly what I wanted. I'm terrible at those, but
guidance. I give you guidance.
you don't know.
Okay.
These are
No guidance, then.
The door goes to the catacombs. Is that where we're headed next, Harlan?
His description to you in the time that you spent with him was it cuts through the Goblin King, the Goblin Royalty's catacombs, and leads you straight into the place where you met with the Goblin King before,
Sick.
where
Right.
Moonboy scribed. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What'd you get on
I
the
didn't
inside?
cry.
10.
Oh,
You're
scry.
very. I mean, I will say he kind of is like, you notice that he's more proud of this wall than anything else. So like his like descriptions of it is like, yeah, like I did this. Here we go. We're making history right now.
All right, mind flayers don't love walls, and I feel like they're
one
in
thing
some
about
kind
them.
of they're in some kind of hive mind, so they wouldn't like love their,
Sure. They
feel
wouldn't
the
have
need to brag about their personal.
personal
Not-
accomplishments. Exactly.
Notably,
Wall
Mind Flayer's
building
not very
prowess.
prideful, you know?
Right.
A lot of bad
Humble
things about
bunch.
him. Very humble.
Very humble. Say what you will about them.
Yeah.
Not a braggart among them.
Say what you will about him, but the silent devourer of men never says a bad word about anyone
No.
because he's so silent.
Okay.
I think Lag can even open this door for you all. He's just he
All right.
knows how this
Better.
works. It's not locked. I mean, it is locked, but he seems to quickly be able to maneuver it. He has I wouldn't say the key on him, but he pulls out a couple of tools from his ship, and it's just kind of like and he just pulls out the whole lock with it. Like he doesn't unlock it. He just
Okay.
takes the lock off.
It's fun.
And he's like,
Before
yeah.
we go in there, I'm going to use Chameleon Carapace and just try and, my rocky skin sort of shifts color and it becomes a reddish to match the rocks of the Goblin King Palace, where I almost disappear like a stick bug, except for I'm too beautiful to disappear. So you notice my feathery antenna.
Yeah, there's just a feather.
There's just two feathers.
Lad grabs his head, hit the skull that's over his head. He's like, "Oh, we lost another one."
No, she's still here. She does this. This is good. Klik, if you'll go ahead and scout out for us, I can. If there's something that comes up, I can make sure that the rest of us get through.
That's what I'm here
Now
for.
remember, it's like I told her, but then he looks at you too and he's like, "Don't touch anything."
In the catacombs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Moonboy, no touching.
You look over. He's picking his nose, and he goes, "Oh," and pulls his finger out. And goes, "Right."
Sure. And as soon as you you're stepping through an illusion, and then you're stepping through a door. So as soon as you kind of he's tucked the ship inside of this alcove, and it seems to be hidden enough away that if like a flyover couldn't see it, it's specifically built to be able to do that. And as you all step through the door, it's night and day. It's like this red deserty environment outside, and then as soon as you step through, it is musty and cool. It's like humid.
No one's ever
but
said it's musty with that gesture. It is musty.
And
is so musty and cool. Ooh.
yeah.
Describing a cheese cave that you really like. Baby, it is musty. It is cool.
It is dank. It is.
Charcrute.
Ooh.
Because I grew up in southern Indiana without any AC, where the basement was the only.
Right, though? That was my first
That's
thought,
it.
too.
Yeah.
Was my grandma's basement in the summertime. Ooh,
Yeah, that's
musty
what
and
it
cool.
Love a damn
It is
cave.
that underground, like, cold rock.
Yeah. She keeps the
Like-
soda down there for some
Yep,
reason.
ginger
It
ale.
can't
It's
be upstairs.
off-brand.
No one knows why.
Yeah, when you're pressed
Carbonated
and
beverages
17,
aren't
it feels
kept
like night all the
upstairs.
time.
You're kind of going Ron Funches, and I don't hate it.
Carbonated
Grandma
beverage-
sodas?
The key to doing wrong functions is just get in there and then act like you have a secret. I'm not gonna tell you.
Wow. Incredible.
The key is to have a secret.
You all see this long hallway in front of you that just seems to have very repeated stone daises all the way down.
But it's empty, as far as we can tell.
Well, let's see. Who can see in the dark?
I can.
Again.
Wow, all of you? Okay, cool. All of you can
Nice.
see. Let's just for fun, let's have all three of you roll a perception check.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's cocked. Fuck. It was a cocked natural 20.
On your birthday.
Oh,
Natural 20.
Oh,
what?
doublers. I got a 14.
18.
Cool.
22.
All right, Klik, you are just fully on guard. You know, you're just like looking for any movement, danger. Doesn't seem to be anything around, but you're just kind of like look. You glaze
she's
over
more
the details.
nervous than
Yeah.
the others, I think.
You're looking for the thing to strike, and it's not there. Moonboy, you still just are kind of like soaking in all of these daises that go down the way, but you do notice that all of them seem to have, they seem to be about like foot by foot, maybe like 3 feet by 3 feet in some spots, like varying size, varying like carvings into them, but they are at this like regulated pace, and each one of them has something sitting upon them, and this little bit of a like carved out archway right behind, like a small alcove at about like chest level, maybe like top of your head level, and K.A.I, you see that each one of them have skulls laid on each of these
Yep.
small outcroppings are just like it is a line of skulls and a line of skulls, and they seem to have plaques carved
Question.
into them at the front there.
Is it their skull or is it the skull they wear?
I did roll a natural 20.
Whoa!
No,
Birthday magic.
I don't know.
But I only go to 22.
Skulls are skulls or skulls.
I don't know.
As far as
22
we
might
know.
not be
But
enough for that.
Yeah, can I?
With a
Go
22,
ahead, go ahead.
they do seem to be all of the same. Or they do seem to be a very coordinated pattern. Maybe not pattern's the wrong word. Like general consistency in the skull shape.
Related.
That doesn't it doesn't necessarily mean that. It means at least like they're not, when you met a lot of the skull goblins, there was like all of these different like elephant skulls and like all of these different skulls. It seems to be like at least fairly consistent. So there's not. So I would say the answer to your meta question was, it seems to be the skulls of the beings and not the skulls
Right.
that they wore.
They're
it.
all goblin skulls.
Yeah.
Well-
that makes ish.
You actually, I think with over 20,
Oh, so
you see
some
that
of them
they're
are cyclops skulls, perhaps.
Cyclops skulls.
Oh, yeah, of course. Cool.
Excellent.
Okay. I was just curious, lore wise. It
Yeah.
would make sense that they passed
That's a good-
one
a good
one
question.
skull down as like the king's skull. It does make sense.
Right.
I was excited that you asked that question because I specifically thought about that before. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Luckily, my birthday vision
Extra credit.
has given me sight beyond sight.
Birthday vision grant me sight beyond sight.
Yeah, Moonboy's like, how do you know? And Kai's like, it's my birthday. Yeah.
That's my secret, Moonboy.
It's always my birthday.
It's always my birthday.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Incredible. Can the
That would be an
Moonboy?
excellent T-shirt.
I think in seeing these statues, the Moonboy, something deep within his or perhaps Serial Ethics' mind echoes and resonates with them. And may I make a religion check to see if these are in some way important religiously?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great one. But I will say, do you want to like continue walking down this space as you do this, or are you all kind of like holding back? Okay,
I think
cool.
so.
So we can kind of like do this investigation a little bit as you walk through. You see like
Do you
the
think
Cyclops
this catacomb
skulls as well.
full of? Do you think this catacomb full of the skulls of kings has any cultural or religious significance?
22.
No, it's more
it is-
clerical.
deeply religious space. In fact, you can almost hear whispers as you move through, and you see Rag putting his hands over his ears, and it's just like walking up ahead in front of you, and it's just kind of like gives you a thumbs up, and he's like, "Don't touch anything," and it's just
The
like
Moonboy
continuing to walk.
is going to
God damn it.
see this, and he is going to also walk up, and it's going to look like he's going to put a hand upon it, and then
Do I see him?
It seems as though he remembers what Klik told him, and he pulls his hand back and instead whispers a silent prayer to these lost goblin ancestors, and he's going to bless all of us.
Sure.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's like,
absolutely.
so help me God, I will telekinetically move your ass down this hallway. I will throw you into next Thursday down this hallway if you try to touch
Cast
that.
psychic spank.
I will.
Klik is a Midwestern mom telekinetically chucking her kids into the van.
I will put you over my shoulder and carry you down this hallway.
You're getting the mom eye as you're like about to grab the cookie that is a goblin skull. You're like,
But yes, you're all blessed now.
Okay.
so you're casting a spell, right?
I am.
Cool. You all get a blessing. Can you also roll a wisdom saving throw?
Yikes.
All of us?
No. I'm sorry. It's also charisma, and it's just Moonboy.
Oh,
Great.
charisma.
And
Wow.
yep, and I'll say, before you say what you get, I would like both Rachel and Aaron to take your headphones off real quick.
That's perfect because I have to go close the door that the dog opened
Yep.
again.
I got a 3.
Okay, cool. Jordan, I'm gonna let you play this in any way that you want to. But you are currently possessed by a ghost of one of the Skull Goblin Kings.
Oh no.
And if you could roll a d20, I will tell you who that Skull Goblin King is, and I would
Okay.
like you to play the scene out. I will
Okay.
describe them a little bit to you, and you can kind of like take a little bit of narrative control. No, not yet. Hold on, Aaron, not yet. So you can take a little bit of narrative control here with who this king is and what his personality is like, and I'll just kind of like give you a couple of facts about him. But he has taken over, or they, because there's a few of them. They've taken over your consciousness, and they're possessing Moonboy right now. But they did it sneakily, so
Okay.
You can play Moonboy possessed by this creature.
Okay,
anywhere you
great.
want.
Great.
So roll a d20 to tell me which
I
Goblin
did.
King.
It was a 13.
Okay, a 13 on the Goblin King chart is going to be, it's K.A.I the Full, and he's called that because he loves to eat as much as
Okay,
possible
great.
and get as full as possible, but he also really loved to put himself in situations where he drowned and had to be saved. he enjoyed both of those activities. You know what I'm saying? Where he would like, be like,
Incredible.
"Oh no, I'm swimming out! You must save me!" Yeah.
Very funny.
Okay. So yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So now we can bring him back. Yep. Bring him back.
Okay.
And and so you all can just continue down this pathway here, and
Oh yeah, like nothing happened. Everything's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely. You can keep moving along here.
Everything good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody's fine.
you see some stairs kind of like at the end of this section. It, like they wind up and it brings you up to another level of this that is just the same thing, just like moving along here. So if you all want to look for anything in particular, you absolutely can. If you want to like stop and investigate anything, if you want to touch anything, you're welcome to. But if not, Lag is just kind of leading the way, just being like, as you like move through the dark that you can all see through, slowly and methodically through this space.
I'm starving.
What?
Someone.
I'm starving. When are we going to be done with all this walking?
What's wrong
So
with you?
bloody dark in here. Somebody carry me.
Somebody carry him.
Uppy.
Where are you?
Insight check? Can I figure out?
Uppy.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, absolutely.
He
Do an
does this
insight check.
accent when he gets tired. He used to do... I'm glad he's doing this one. The other one was not an okay accent.
You can do an insight check.
I won't say which offensive accent he was doing. I will let you come up with it yourself.
But Jordan, I would like to
complicit.
I would like to also have you roll a d20, and you can either add your persuasion or deception here. If you're just Hungry Moonboy, you would add your persuasion to prove to them that you are Hungry Moonboy. If you are not, you would add your deception to try and fit in with the crew here.
Sure. I have rolled a 9.
Hang on. I am spending a charge on my Omnipathy engine to gain advantage on an insight check and proficiency.
I love it. As
feet are hot. I want to dip my tootsies.
She's just like, what the hell is going on?
As you can continue this mom eye narrative of you turning around in your Omnipathy engine going off.
So high, it's a dirty 20 with advantage.
All right, Jordan. I think I would love for you to give it to him. What Klik knows here.
I think Klik, you immediately clock that Moonboy is not behaving. He's normally a nuisance, but in a way that makes sense for Moonboy. He's not even walking like Moonboy. You see that he's kind of got his thumbs in his belt, and he's walking around with his chest stuck out, and he sees you looking at him, and he says, "What's the hold-up? I'm hungry, and I want to cool my tootsies. Oh, bollocks to this!" And he turns around and starts to walk back the way we came.
Yeah, no, she's gonna snap him up and try and, quiet.
What are you doing? Unhand me! I am the great king of the goblins! Was his name Azrax?
Yeah.
How dare you! Guards! Guards!
Can I,
It's K.A.I. It's K.A.I. Yeah.
Take-Oz! It is I'm hungry and I wish to swim!
I give him a sandwich.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that would do it.
I hand him a sandwich. Just.
Yes, what is this? Very lovely. That definitely would do at least part of the trick.
So, and I will say, Jordan, you know where you are and what you did. So, you're not confused. You're not confused about that. You're more of gallivanting, in case that's what you do. Yeah. But you're nailing it. Keep going.
Okay.
What? Who? You're not. You're the Moonboy.
You are not.
No, I've taken over the boy's body so that I could get a good feed and perhaps go for a swim somewhere.
I'm going to sort of kneel down in front of Moonboy and evaluate him medically and
for once.
And magically.
Sure, roll an Arcana check.
Klik will gesture to Lag to just hang on a second. We got a temper tantrum.
19.
With a 19, you know that he is currently possessed. There is a ghost inside of Moonboy right now.
He's possessed. There's a ghost in there.
And
the
Well, I
ghost.
could have guessed that.
And there's a spirit, and the spirit is hungry.
We kind of need Moonboy right now. Can
I
we
need
get out?
Moonboy,
Listen, I'll make you a deal. Give me more sandwiches.
We can do that. How many sandwiches do you have, guy?
if I give you another sandwich, will you leave Moonboy?
Of course not.
Then I guess you won't get any more sandwiches.
Wait, well, let's not go
If
crazy
you leave
here.
Moonboy after I give you a sandwich, I'll give you a sandwich.
But I can't eat
But-
sandwiches without the boy's mouth.
Right, that you'll get that
supple
sandwich.
Fingers.
You'll get that sandwich. Otherwise, you'll never get any other sandwiches ever again.
I want a mouth. I want a mouth for an hour and a half. This would fulfill my purpose.
We have an hour and a half.
We don't
I
have
want
an hour
somebody's
and a half.
mouth for an hour and a half.
What's his name? What? Look, King.
Honey,
Grace-
you can't afford it.
Grace- Your castle has been completely overrun by mind flayers, and we are here
What?
to save your ass. So if you could kindly be quiet, take the one sandwich we're offering, and move on with your life.
I think that's pretty good. What?
Jordan,
can I
I'll
roll
say-
something?
You get to fully DM this character.
I think that's
you
pretty
can
good,
you
though,
can
if
make
he's
the
the
decisions. Yeah, truly, you can make these decisions. They're all
I think
you.
he doesn't like it. Hang on. What would he roll? Klik, can you roll a persuasion?
Can I roll an
Yeah.
intimidation?
Can you?
I would like to.
Like
Yes.
Jordan, you can make the calls about these characters, and if you need
Okay,
need to tap me in for like lore stuff or whatever, feel free. But like,
No, absolutely.
just go for it.
Well, it's not very good, but it is a 12.
Okay. Honestly, I think this guy didn't need much of a push. I was looking for a 10, Rachel.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he's like, look, the kingdom's in trouble.
It's overrun by mind flayers right now.
Right.
We're just here to try and save the king and as many goblins and cyclops as we can.
The second sandwich, then.
Thank you.
Wait,
You're a very
but-
reasonable king.
and before you go, is there anything you can tell us about the palace that could help us in trying to rescue the king?
Yes, if you eat a great deal, they say that you shouldn't go swimming right after. But if you eat a great deal and then go swimming until your body cramps up and you sort of drown a little bit when you awaken. Oh, when you awaken, life will be fresh. Each berry will be the greatest berry you've ever tasted. Each goblin made you bed.
I was thinking secret
best.
doors, magic
Yeah.
items, anything like that.
Booby traps.
Maybe I could roll something for the DM.
Any booby,
Can I roll a history
secret
to see if in his
golems,
Yes.
his gluttony-addled
any
this-
anti-mind flayer countermeasures?
This was
Yes.
his weird. He's a bit of a Caligula. He liked to eat too much and then pretend to drown, so someone would have to save him.
What?
Because
I don't know.
his name was
I
K.A.I
mean,
the
I
Full.
sort of got that.
Because his name was
Right?
K.A.I the Full, and so he would both like to get full on food and then
This
also
is
be
his
full of
greatest
water.
pleasure. No one
Yeah,
tells
yeah.
him that you can't swim immediately after eating.
People tell you you're full because your stomach is full, but really
Yes,
your
right.
lungs are completely empty.
Yes, I know that now.
Like you could roll a history check with a +5 because he's a king.
Oh, great.
Nice.
Far out. Let's do it. That kingly
So this
history.
is Lag, loyal subject.
Yes, I see you there, Lag. When this is all over, I wish for you to come back, and I want to use your mouth for a few hours.
Lag, you can do that, right?
That was a 24.
Do not have to do that, lad.
Kingly history.
Quick is
Not
like,
for
look,
anything.
this is your ancestor, right? You owe him
Yes.
your mouth for an hour.
That's-
You
That's
don't
right.
owe anyone your mouth.
Let's
Don't let them
know.
tell you
Listen,
that.
I'm only going to use it to eat some nuggets and maybe lick the fingers.
Nope.
I would,
Oh,
I will say, in the spirit of K.A.I the Full, he knows about a covered drainage pipe that he used to flood the palace just for fun every once in a while with water. So he tells you about on the far eastern wall. It's been covered over, but there is you can tell by there's a bit of mold growing on it all the time because there's just like a little bit of dew like leaking through the wall there. And so there's about a small circle that you can use to start filling up the palace with water.
Use that to
Wow.
fill up That's huge.
Incredible.
I mean, it
Okay.
will happen it's not gonna happen instantaneously,
Slowly,
but it will
but,
happen
like-
quickly. Yeah.
It should get them in a bit of a panic, at least.
You can
And
just
it will
turn
fill
on
this
all
tunnel
of the
up.
taps.
Just for the
Turning
fun
on
here,
the fire
Jordan,
alarm.
Jordan, will you give us K.A.I the full, giving the crew a fond memory of when he used it once?
Yes, I used to nick several of my butlers' underclothes, and I'd jam them into the drain on a rainy day, and then I would keep sending them down to check one by one, and when the others wouldn't come back, I'd send another to check on him. And they were drowning down there. So many of them drowned.
All right.
It's pretty
Let's
awful.
get you back to the night realm. Here's your sandwich.
And he takes it and he crams it into Moonboy's. Already, like, Moonboy ate a large sandwich already, and he can handle half a sandwich at a time, mainly. And this is the second sandwich for Moonboy, and as he swallows the last bite of it, I think his eyes kind of do kind of a Newton's cradle thing, where they go and kind of knock together, and all of a sudden he's himself, and he's like,
Oh, God, I'm so full.
Yeah. Full of ghosts.
It was.
Yeah, you were
Did
possessed by
some
the
kind of spell that woke up a king.
Not a good king, either.
No, like a
I'll
really
say.
full king.
Boy.
Not all kings were as just and their appetites as Buzzsnorg.
I think I had some coins in my pocket that he ate.
What?
Oh, is
I think
that
he
what
was
that sound was?
going through my pockets and eating stuff. Oh, I'm so full. This is insane.
I'm trying to figure out if I
Party dart.
that can help you.
I think I've just got to,
This is prune juice.
I've got to walk this one off.
Just a dart full of prune.
Right in your
emotion.
veins.
If Wind Rider was here.
That's
he could give me a
Metamucil.
Coward's corner to toilet in. To make horrible.
Klik's got some Tums that she just secretly likes to eat.
That seems like a very plausible Kreen addiction.
She's like, these are insane. Have you had these?
We never.
They're
They have
wonderful.
so much calcium in them.
They're so good.
So much riboflavin.
You cast Tasha's Chili Whispers, yeah.
Tasha's hideous whispers.
And so, but like Lag is like, oh my god, he's like, you get possessed by one of the kings. He's like, I know. He's like, I knew these whispers weren't just nothing. He's like, did you touch something?
No, I didn't. I cast a little spell and I said a little prayer for us.
Maybe don't cast a spell then, because it might attract attention.
Ooh, I
Yes.
almost was about to cast another spell to make Moonboy's stomach ache feel better. I really almost did it.
No, it's
I
okay.
came
We'll
so
just.
close.
I'll just walk it off. I'll just walk it up.
God, could you imagine if you did it immediately?
I so almost
Well,
did.
Aaron, if you want to, because it's your birthday, you could roll for it and see if you did it in time, because you could. Just for the chaos of it, you could go
All
for
right,
it. You might
all
fail
right.
the
I
check.
will
You might
cast.
fail.
I will cast this joke aside and move forward.
So Lag is just kind of like, no spells, no touching, and then we're fine.
Right.
Although that did seem to help you, didn't it?
Yes, I guess in
I
the
guess
end
it
that
sort of did,
sort
but
of
it could
worked
have
out.
not. We didn't know it would. We're
Ooh,
like,
should we talk to more kings?
no.
I can't
And
take
Moonboy
any
will have
more
to eat.
sandwiches.
Or who knows what they might want you to do. That guy had some really
yes.
unique appetites.
Seriously. What happened to that worm?
Who's like your best king? You know, like maybe we can talk to like a cool.
Yeah, which one do you want?
Who's like
Who's like-
historically your best king? Who like
like
won?
the Nolan Ryan of kings.
Yeah, like your.
But that one probably just got put in random. We should keep going.
Yeah.
All right, he's right. We'll come back later.
Will you roll a persuasion check? This is kind of like having Lag do a history check, but I think it's more fun to have you roll it, Rachel. So
I'm doing a persuasion check.
yeah.
Okay. Ooh, it's pretty good. I keep rolling the same number. Persuasion. Good thing I'm bad at it. 13.
With a 13, he looks at you and he's like, I mean, I'm goblins only live like 50 to 70 years, so I only know a couple of the kings, and I didn't really study history that well. But the one everybody likes, at least, is he's like oh, hold on, let me look at my chart based on like ability.
King chart.
Let me look at my chart of dead goblin kings that I've made.
He's like, well, I mean, Vruz, the gift receiver, is the one that everybody likes the most that I know of. There's just like
Gift receiver.
but I mean, there is Stiggs the High Held and K.A.I the Launcher. K.A.I the Launcher, everyone thought was very cool. So
He sounds fun. The gift receiver guy sounds hard to shop for.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't really have gifts.
What do you get for the goblin that has everything?
What did he?
Yeah.
What did he launch? What did the launcher? Did he
Yeah.
launch himself?
Himself. That's
Yeah.
exactly. That's why.
Right.
His big thing was
pretty
being
cool.
thrown long distances. Very
Nice.
cool. If you ask
Well,
me.
he sounds delightful, and I bet we could throw him super far.
Yes,
I mean,
I've been
love
checked
We'd
a
have to
couple of
throw one of
times.
us. Is the problem?
Anyway, but no, we can't
I
stop
wanted to be
and
like
throw.
K.A.I when I was.
We can't
that's
stop
cool.
and
It's important
throw.
to have heroes. I'll keep moving.
Yeah, you all notice that you're kind of like getting kind of loud as you've moved up to like another like you all like I just imagine you like having this conversation is it's like 10 goblin like statues on each side as you all like walk through, you know, like and there just seems to be layers and layers of this, and you're on like the third or fourth round of this as you all like seem to be moving through all these different distances as the stairs go up. So I kind of like imagine this as a montage a little bit as you are like keep kind
It's
of like
a lot of
sizing up.
kings. I forgot that goblins
Yeah.
don't live very long.
Yeah.
Their lineage of kings is
that why
very,
you were
very
looking-
long distance.
Looking up the life of goblins as how many kings would be in there.
Yes. So I
Hilarious.
we were
DMing
talking
is
about,
bizarre.
we were talking about this
No,
beforehand.
let's be clear. Not every DM is doing that.
It's incredible.
We are lucky enough to have one who is.
Yeah.
Just for a chat before, I was talking about this before because I needed to figure out with the elven history that I have built out in this game, how many goblin kings have existed since this period in the history's past, and it was so many goblin kings. So I made a lot of goblin kings.
Now, is there a chance that with a high enough religion roll, I would have been able to tell that this was the type of place that you don't want to cast spells in?
Not really, because this is the only reason that the spell triggered it was because it just brought attention to it. And so I think the thing that you could have learned with that with a high check is that it seems like the touching thing is not limiting in this space. It's more of like if there's any sort of thing a spirit that is floating around here might notice.
Latch onto, sure.
So we should be quiet.
Oh
and
yeah.
not do any incredible improv comedy. Just kidding.
All right.
You all just heading forward? Just heading forward?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then let's have all three of you do stealth checks here
Oh,
as
God.
you
I have advantage.
are traveling through the halls and halls of Skull Goblin Kings.
Well, I am going to, before we do that, geez, I don't want to cast Pass Without Trace, do I?
You might.
No, not.
Might be too late now.
Oish.
Yeah.
Alright, well.
Would
Would you call this rocky terrain?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll also say, if you want to have retcon Pass Without Trace, you can. But
Oh,
just
right.
like,
No, you can't because of goblins. I forgot.
What?
Again.
You would
yeah,
have
it's
you would
okay.
have cast
got
a second spell in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be casting a spell and drawing attention to yourself, but it would then continue as you move through the space. So
No,
if you want
it-
to
No,
do
no,
that,
no.
you
It's alright, it's alright. I got a 15, which is respectable.
No.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
I got a 22 altogether.
Dirty 20 from me.
Okay, cool. You all move through this space, and you can feel this same whisper of ghosts, and you kind of like see a movement of kind of like around each one of these skulls as you all move through kind of unnoticed here. There's almost just like this energy that floats off of it and comes back to it for a second. Some of the skulls just have like these eyes that appear in them for a second. You can kind of hear these far off like squabbling and yelling and maybe like celebrating. It's hard to tell, but it is just this chorus of voices and experiences that you touch upon as you walk through. You see plaques for yes, I'm gonna do the list here to call it as you all move through. You see Strexia the General, Klaxi the Engulfed, Rank the Stank, Ralki the Defeater of God, Fleece the Flyer, Ulassus the Eaten, Crawl the Crass, Buzziorm the Beautician, Plusbiat the Concoctor, Lecrias the Fizzler, Urix the Friend to Animals, Takaz, you already saw Takaz the Full, Geshuya the Chapped, Prixbia the Broken, Neovzak the Lover of All Friends, and Warbalki the Home Taker. You do see the seemingly graves for Styx the High Held, Vruz the Gift Receiver, and Yaxi the Launcher as well.
Wow.
As you all move through. And I just want to say, like, this is kind of just this montage of you all being like, you heard a couple of these names and you all are just moving through unnoticed, untouched. You hear all these ghost whispers, you see all these names, and you can just feel how long these Goblin Kings have like passed down skull to skull this place. You can see all these like offshoots that you kind of have to like wiggle through and loop around as you get through here. And then finally Lag kind of like comes up to a piece of the wall, and as you move through, it seems like it's not on one track. There are all these like places that you can split into. You could easily get lost down here if maybe you didn't have lag, which again was a random thing that you all rolled on a table. I will remind you, and you kind of like come up to again a similar spot where it's just like an end of a corridor that's like, this is a rock wall that seems out of place and noticeable. And Lag leans over, and you just see him like kind of like pull a handle up out of the rock and turn it to the side, and then he just takes another rock and smashes it against it and like pulls the whole lock out itself again. And he's like, should we go through?
So this opens directly into the chambers?
Yeah.
So I've used my telekinetic ability to sort of check for creatures on the other side of the wall. That's how we found the Moon Girl. Can I make an attempt to sort of reach out telepathically and just sort of feel for presences on the other side of the wall?
Absolutely. I will tell you.
I know they're mind flayers, not a great idea, but also walking out there without checking isn't a great idea either.
I will say it is a DC 15.
Sure.
And the difference between hitting 20 and above is notable. So.
Yeah. This doesn't usually require a check. It's as long as I share a language, and I'm also blessed. The creature.
Well, I think this is perception. I think I'm specifically.
You're just having me just do a perception check?
Specifically do a perception because you are kind of like taking that ability that you have and like letting your thoughts like.
Oh, and you are blessed.
Feel around the room in the dark a little bit. Yeah, you can have. Yeah, you do have the blessed because you earned the encounter with takes.
Guidance is a D8, right?
D4.
Guidance and bless.
So
they're
bless.
Both D4s.
Yeah.
He gave me guidance too.
It's the same. Well, no, just bless.
Just
because I don't think they override.
They're both concentration.
I don't think they stack. Yeah.
Where the hell is my D4? Sorry, guys. I just realized I'm missing a D4.
Sounds like you're touching the goblin skulls, is what it sounds like.
I rolled so bad. Okay. Perception.
I miss Andrew
so
already. I know I could have talked him into touching one of the skulls.
You don't have to.
With bless, it's 9.
You can't feel any sentience in that room, and it's mostly because it feels like touching static. Like when you reach into that room, kind of just like, again, it's like, putting your hand out in the dark, like walking your way through a room that you've been in before, but in the darkness, as you're just like mentally like pushing your psionic telepathic ability to feel around the room, and it's like one of those haunted house moments where you like are touching spaghetti and eyes, where it's just like the things that you feel like don't feel right and just feel
It doesn't
chaotic and not
can't
able
feel
to give you information.
anything. I don't know. I don't know what's on the other side.
Can you, sorry, DM, can you describe this opening what we're looking at exactly real quick?
Yeah, I mean, it literally looks like when he pulled the handle off, you can see
It's just
like
a
the
door.
you can see the dust line kind of like at the creases of the door show themselves because like opening a car door in the snow kind
so
of
it's
thing.
like a secret door that.
Yep. It's small. It's goblin size. It's about like like Klik and you would have to hunch down to get through it. You have to like go on your knees and kind of like scoop through.
Well, maybe this is the time to cast Pass Without a Trace. I know we are in a no spell zone.
I think we just. I mean, or is that too big of a risk?
I don't know.
Should I do
I
it?
mean, otherwise I cast invisibility, and that's also a spell. So
Yeah.
or we just
Okay.
go out there and try and be super dexy.
Moonboy's gonna try to cast Pass Without Trace.
Wonderful. You cast Pass Without Trace immediately. Well, maybe it goes in the event order of you cast Pass Without Trace and it happens, and then I also need you to roll a charisma saving throw.
You're blessed.
I am blessed. This is true. So I think I might have forgotten something about Moonboy.
Well, I'm glad. Because
Oh,
K.A.I.
yeah.
the Fool was
Okay,
amazing.
advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic. Yeah?
What is that?
This is not a magical effect. This is a
Oh.
ghost taking over your consciousness, which, although it sounds like a magic effect, is not a magical spell. So it's not.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, 16.
Oh, that succeeds.
Great.
You feel this like swirl around you, and you can feel it like just kind of. Then you hear just like an echo and a yell, and then it dissipates.
And he shakes it off and he goes, "Piss off. Trying to magic."
You hear a very rude goblin swear word, and Lag goes, "Oh, damn."
Dark.
Dark.
Fung dark is what you hear, yeah. And you, like in the darkest night, all of like the moon, like the moonlight, like when it's like snowed and the moon is bright, and like outside is all of a sudden bright. It is the opposite of that, where that lightness just like gets sucked and fades away. Like that glow is there for a second and just and goes into complete black as you all are receiving the advantages of a dark, dark night that is Pass Without Trace. So with that, you can step into this room, and we will talk about what this is in this room and what you all see as you step in next week.
What a cliffhanger.
Very good.
Yeah.
Hang on that cliff.
Yeah.
Oof. The movie's playing.
The movie is playing, is it not?
All right.
All right.
Thanks again for joining us, chat, this week. Super fun one. We're gonna just crack into a hall full of mind flayers tomorrow, or next
Maybe.
week. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? It could be worse.
Yeah, maybe it'll be something even worse.
Who knows?
Maybe it will be cake.
That's true.
Yeah.
There was ice
Maybe-
cream here last we were here.
Maybe
so.
it'll be nice coffee.
Maybe it'll be tickets to a concert.
What's the sport? Maybe it'll, the
Wiggle ball?
Wiggle ball.
Wiggle time.
Well,
Wiggle
wiggle
time.
Time.
Yeah.
Winky
I
slappy.
almost called it finger time for some reason.
Oh,
Who's
God.
ready to
Horrifying.
play finger time?
Finger time.
Goblin Finger Time. That's your episode name.
Finger. Get us out of here. Good night.
Yes.
Hell out of here, and happy birthday, Aaron.
Happy
Thanks,
birthday,
guys.
Aaron. Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humblia, Chef, and the Wind Rider, Flute, Whim Teaser. better than he.